Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds!
And today Joe is going to take us down memory lane. Let's see if you guys remember this book. I do not.
Yes, so I follow a lot of like 70s, 80s, and 90s like nostalgic pages on Instagram where they have like awesome videos of just like the past, how life was, toys, books, shows, clothes, whatever. So one day they posted this, a picture of this, and said, does anybody know who this is? And in my mind, like I just remember her name is Viola Swamp. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember this. But I couldn't like get exactly what it was from because I haven't seen or thought about this in my entire adult life. It's not something that like I remembered.
Yeah.
But I sure do now, and it's called I found in the library, the Miss Nelson collection. The most popular one is Miss Nelson is Missing. Okay, and I'm going to see if you guys remember. So these were written like in the late 70s and early 80s. And there was even, when I was researching for today's video, there's an animated special. It's 13 minutes. I watched it. It's so cute. It's
Adorable.
Just like this.
Cute.
All right, so here we have Miss Nelson. She teaches a class, and the kids are all rowdy and like restless and rude and disrespectful. They're not listening to sweet Miss Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not. They're throwing things and they're just being obnoxious, okay? So Miss Nelson doesn't know what to do. So she goes home and she comes back to school the next day dressed up
Oh my God.
as Viola Swamp, as the substitute teacher.
That's adorable.
And Viola Swamp takes no ish from any of these kids, whips them into shape, gives them crazy assignments, is like really mean, and like gets her class in order.
Okay.
Then what happens is they miss Miss Nelson so much. They're like, we miss Miss Nelson. Where is she? We want Miss Nelson back. We don't want this substitute teacher. Okay? And so like there's a little lesson involved, right?
So they write her letters.
Yeah, so they want her to come back and they miss her, and the moral of the story is when Miss Nelson returns, they are so happy to see her. You know, they behave for her, and then some learning can occur because they took her for granted all those times.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
And what are the other ones called?
So the next one was Miss Nelson is Back, and that was still a good one. Like I liked that one. It was cute. It had like the same kind of a feel to it. Miss Nelson has her tonsils taken out.
Oh.
So she's out for a little while. And the principal subs, I love it, Mr. Blandsworth. He's a dork. And the kids don't like him because he's very bland, right? And he like tells them all these like corny stories and, you know, wants to show them card tricks, and they're just bored to tears. So again, they're not appreciating Mr. Blandsworth because the next day, some stuff happens and he leaves, and then we have, oh no. So the kids dress up as Miss Nelson to trick him in thinking that she's back to work. So they dress up as her and like, she's back, yay, we don't need you as a sub anymore.
That's
right?
adorable.
And they decide to go on a field trip. So these are kids dressed up as Miss Nelson. They go out and they pass the real Miss Nelson's house while she's recuperating. So what does she do? Viola Swamp makes her appearance again.
Uh-oh.
She comes back. So, and it's just so fun.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. Now the third one I did not enjoy too much.
Okay.
It was Miss Nelson has a field day, and it's like a football game, and like the team is terrible and need to be whipped into shape. So like Viola Swamp is like the coach. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of silly.
I mean, they just tried to have another new idea to go with this. Yeah.
Yeah, so like she comes and she, coach, and don't you forget it. That's on her shirt. So, you know, it's still fun, but I thought the first two were great.
And so you remember this from when you were a kid?
I do. I remember like Miss Nelson, and I was reaching out to my friends, and a lot of them were like, oh my God, I remember that, and absolutely, of course we remember.
Wow.
So it was like, it was a generational thing.
For me, I feel like the equivalent was the Amelia Bedelia books.
Okay.
Did you read those?
I remember Amelia Bedelia.
I was obsessed with those books, and there
Yeah.
was like, you know, Amelia Bedelia goes here, Amelia Bedelia does this, does that, you know, all the different ones.
Yeah.
Probably more than Miss Nelson has.
Oh, a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, so we owned those, and I devoured them over and over and over. So I just don't think we had Miss Nelson. I don't know. Did you guys have Miss Nelson? Did you have Amelia Bedelia? Did you have something else? Let us know. What was your childhood book that comes to mind?
And if you're enjoying Book Buzz, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel,
Book Buds!
Did you read this book? Let's chat about it.